But you had this huge successful series that you wrote. Now you've started a new one. What's your favorite thing about it so far?
My favorite thing about the new series is you get to build a world from scratch. You know, I've been playing in one sandbox for a long time and I love it and I love everything there, but now you get to go to a totally different sandbox. And so it's actually set in a fictional country, and so I was able to actually create this country from scratch. So, you know, the royal family and the cool catacombs beneath the city and this amazing wall that rims this 1,000-year-old, you know, sort of center of world power. And so it's been so much fun to create Adria and to really create the entire world of Embassy Row.
Whenever you do create this, do you map it all out ahead of time? Like you know everything about it, or do you kind of go with it as the book goes along?
A little bit of both. So I know a few big picture items that are going to happen along the way. I know sort of the major cast of characters. I have an idea of where it might go in the future, but I always try to stay really open to the idea that something that's going to surprise me is definitely going to surprise readers. So if a good idea hits me upside the head at some point, I want to be receptive to that because you never know where that might turn.
What about the actual layout of the city and the country?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think a lot of that I make up as I go along. So when I started Embassy Row, so it's, you know, set in a world capital in Europe, a fictional place, as I said, and I really wanted it to have that very, very old world sort of, you know, the kind of place that would never in a million years exist in America. And so it's the city is 1,000 years old. There's a massive wall that circles the entire city to protect it, you know, from invaders 1,000 years ago. And you've got all the embassies of the city that kind of circle the inside of the wall. So that these kids who are growing up in these embassies, you know, they can actually jump from rooftop to rooftop and go from country to country. Or they can climb up on this ancient wall and run around the city. And they just kind of like running wild in a way. And yet they're also living in a place where if your country where you live gets into a fight with the next door neighbors, you're getting into a fight with Russia. Or if you break into the creepy house at the end of the street, you're breaking into Iran, you know, because the stakes in this world are very, very high. And so my character Grace has always been a little bit of a troublemaker. Well, it's not necessarily that Grace makes trouble, it's that Grace finds trouble or trouble finds her. This is a place where she can't get into trouble. And it's been very, very fun to play with that and to play with that kind of personality, the kind of girl who really doesn't want to mess up, but everything just kind of breaks when she gets near it. It's been a lot of fun to play with.
What's one of your favorite characteristics about her?
I love that Grace is very, very strong and she's very, very loyal. I mean, Grace would die for anybody that she cares about. The kicker is Grace doesn't care about that many people, you know, because Grace has been hurt a whole lot. So she's got, you know, there's something that I play with a lot in the books is that, you know, she lives in this walled city, but Grace is the walled girl. You know, there is no one getting through Grace's defenses. And so she's just a very flawed, very sad character who has got a lot of fight and a lot of spunk. And she's gonna, you know, she's always going to be the heroine of her own story. And I like that about her.
If you could take anything from that world and put it into our world, what's something you'd want to bring?
Probably either Alexi or Noah, because they're really great guys and they're super, super nice. And they are also super devoted to Grace. You know, Grace is her own worst enemy, but Noah and Alexi are her best allies.
Is there anything that's coming up soon that we can look forward to?
Well, I'm working on Embassy Row 3 right now. So right now we have All Fall Down, which is book 1, See How They Run, book 2, and then book 3. We have a title, but I don't have the green light to share it yet. Stay tuned, Justine Magazine readers. We will let you guys know. I love it. And so we're also working on the cover, which is very exciting. So it's just always really, really fun to see, you know, this tiny speck of an idea turn into a real book. And so now we're getting to the part where it really, really looks like a real book, which is so exciting.
And book 4, is that coming up soon?
Actually, book 3 is going to finish up. Yeah. So that's going to be the end of the trilogy, and it's you know, everybody dies.
Oh, no.
No, I'm really happy with how the book ends. I want readers to feel satisfied with it. I want to stop torturing poor Grace. And then I'm really excited to do something new after that. So, you know, there's always, you know, writers don't have any shortage of ideas. It's just shortage of time to do the ideas. So lots of exciting things coming up.